This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
It is hot. It is humid. Temperatures reached 95 degrees today, making it uncomfortable for Cardinal fans at Busch Stadium. And this is only the first day of a long stretch of hot days. Good evening. I'm Mike Busch.
I'm Kelly Jackson. Heat is not the only headline. We may see some overnight storms. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is here with the Weather First forecast.
You know, it's that evening and especially later this evening that we're watching all of this to the north. Yes, it's hot, humid, and that cold front slicing through that. Now, the atmosphere over us, like Gary was saying at 4, is capped. There's hot air aloft. So will that cap break? But here's a huge cluster of storms. Severe thunderstorm watches just to the north of us, and that does not include any of our counties at this point. Doppler weather radar, though, showing a lot of lightning and a lot of very heavy rain, and we've had reports of 2-inch hail with some of these. We are expecting this to congeal or form into a line, and here's that future cast. As it moves southeast, we're expecting this to weaken a little bit, but watch as it pushes into the metro as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. And most of these show signs of weakening through this model here. You know, some of the models are not showing this at all, but it does seem as if we will get some showers and storms in here through the evening hours, and then maybe past the midnight hour, things really calm down quite a bit. That heat and humidity is here to stay. We'll have much more on that storm chance and the heat and humidity that will last a while, guys.
We're following two major stories out of Washington today. A federal push to protect IVF fails in the Senate. Republicans defeated Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth's efforts to guarantee access to the procedure. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here to explain why. Mark?
Mike, only one Republican senator stood on the floor to debate against the Right to IVF Act, but several signed on to a short letter basically shrugging off concerns about its access. They wrote in vitro fertilization is legal in every state and blamed Democrats for waging what they called a partisan campaign of false fear-mongering. Senator Josh Hawley's office sent us this video clip of him claiming several things that raise other questions. He claimed, for example, quote, their IVF bill is actually about abortion. The bill makes no mention of abortion procedures. He claimed in Missouri, quote, IVF is 100% legal and protected in the law, but just today, a former Chief Justice of the Missouri Supreme Court raised serious doubts about that in an op-ed writing that after the Supreme Court overthrew Roe v. Wade, that, quote, Missouri's life begins at conception law also seems to outlaw in vitro fertilization. The abortion ban here is written almost word for word the same as it is in Alabama, where IVF was jeopardized in the courts.
For so many women, that lifelong hope of having children is now stuck in a hellish limbo as they remain uncertain whether more states will follow Alabama's lead. As they're forced to live in fear that Republican success come November would even further imperil their right to try to create a family.
Hawley claimed the push to protect IVF was actually targeting religious liberty. His office would not make him available for follow-up questions, but one of our questions might have been the religious liberty to do what? His comment at least suggests he would defend a religious freedom to object to IVF, as the Southern Baptist Convention just did yesterday.
Thanks, Mark. Also today, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to preserve access to an abortion pill. The justices say a group of doctors lack legal standing to challenge the FDA's regulation of the pill called mifepristone. 5 on your side's Justina Coronel is in the newsroom with reaction.
Well, Kelly, the response has been split on a controversial topic like this. Now, mifepristone is a 2-drug regimen used to end a pregnancy up to 10 weeks. And advocates for abortion services are grateful for the Supreme Court's decision. Organizations like Hope Clinic in Granite City were bracing for this change, and now I'm told they can take a deep breath. The Metro East Abortion Clinic is already seeing double the amount of patients since the overturn of Roe v. Wade. I'm told 80% of patients are out of state. As for anti-abortion advocates, the Supreme Court decision is disappointing for them. I caught up with a pro-life lobbying organization called Campaign Life Missouri. The director said they're still working to protect women and children because they believe they're at risk. We hear a reaction from both sides.
But this case doesn't end the story. Missouri's laws are still in effect, and they protect women and unborn children. Abortions are only permitted in Missouri in cases of medical emergency.
We know that there are state legislatures and state governments that are not going to stop at this ruling.
Now, there is still another lawsuit in regards to abortion pills. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey filed a suit against the FDA last year for shipment of abortion pills in the mail. Bailey tweeted today he's moving forward with that piece of litigation.
Lambert Airport is home to a new airline. Avelo Airlines made its first flight from St. Louis to New Haven, Connecticut today. The new nonstop flight is offered 2 days a week on Thursdays and Sundays. Avelo is a budget-friendly airline that launched in 2021. It's the first airline to offer a nonstop option between Missouri and Connecticut. This comes as budget airline Allegiant adds a new one-way route to Knoxville, Tennessee. Allegiant flies out of Mid-America St. Louis Airport in Mascoutah. The route will fly twice weekly and will cost about $50.
The first step of a plan to improve Interstate 70 is underway. Governor Parson joined MoDOT officials today for a groundbreaking in Columbia. The project will add a third lane to I-70 from Wentzville to Blue Springs, just outside Kansas City. It's expected to cost about $3 billion.
We've talked about 6 lanes on I-70 ever since I can remember, and now you're going to get to see that come reality. And what we're doing in infrastructure in this state is going to set us apart from many, many other states.
Phase 1 between Columbia to Kingdom City started today. The entire expansion is expected to be finished by 2030. New information tonight about a shooting at a Metro bus location in North St. Louis. Police say someone shot a man several times. Officers found him lying in the parking lot this morning. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan joins us live from police headquarters to explain how officers are working with Metro and using technology to protect riders. Megan.
Well, Kelly, it's a partnership between SLMPD and Metro that officers believe will help them catch the suspect who shot a man at a bus stop this morning. And it's all thanks to cameras that captured some of it. District 6 officers were called to the Riverview Metro Transit Center at the intersection of Riverview and Hall around 6 a.m. They found a 56-year-old man who was shot several times in the chest before stumbling into the parking lot. The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. St. Louis Police spokesperson Mitch McCoy tells me a camera on a Metro bus captured some of the shooting.
Parts of this incident was captured on parts of that surveillance technology, cameras specifically, and we're going to use that technology to help in our investigation to identify the person who committed this crime, arrest them, bring them to justice, and then that evidence likely will be used in court.
Tonight, police are still looking for the shooter. 5 on Your Side has reached out to Metro for a comment. We'll let you know once we hear back. Tonight at 6, what a Metro passenger wants to see happen at these bus stops to prevent further crimes from happening. Live in downtown St. Louis, Megan Kernan, 5 on Your Side.
Still ahead, flash flooding in Florida, the record rainfall that's shutting down parts of the state, and why the problems might not be over.
Chaos on the ball field, why several protesters were arrested during a congressional charity game.